Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. As you would have seen on Instagram, I did have a conversation with you about Natco. I really didn't want to talk about Natco more than that, but Rupesh felt it deserves to be spoken about today because of what the market was doing with Natco in terms of price. And a lot of you were concerned about it. Some of you who understand what we do here in this group of ours and who have been with us for some time were not so concerned, but were actually very happy because you've been waiting for some time for an opportunity like this and you were diving in head first. I did too, to be very honest. The biggest fear for me was not the performance of Natco, was your reaction to that performance of Natco, because I wanted to remind the main reason I came bellowing on Instagram was I wanted you guys to calm down and not get excited and not overreact and jump in with both feet in the sense that you throw too much money after Natco. The reason why I even stayed within my tiffin coffee range, like I said, my tiffin coffee range is 2000 rupees a day. So that means I pretty much bought two Natcos and I was done for the day. And I logged off, other than what I needed to log on and do with work as far as these videos are concerned and with Anand and the analysis of whatever we're doing. I did not venture into my app again and looked at options of buying more Natco today. Though the price was showing elasticity, as they say, and was stretching all kinds of ways. That is as vague as I can sound about it, as I'm allowed to say. I'm sure you understand the rest. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, just Google Natco and you'll understand what's been happening with Natco in terms of with the market. The reason why I'm saying you should stay in tiffin coffee ranges. If you've been doing this journey with me since January and we've been looking at Natco since January to now, your average price would be much higher than where we are today with respect to the market. And that's good. And that's how it should be. Because, like I said, we are doing this year, then we're doing another 9 years together. And we are long term value investors and we are looking at opportunities in tiffin coffee range and we're staying there. The reason why I want you to stay in tiffin coffee ranges, we are nowhere near letting our purses loose in the market because there is a lot more blood yet to be let in the market. In that sense, Natco was expected. So yesterday evening itself, Rupesh was saying, "Sir, today Natco will be expecting some news," and it happened. What was interesting was I was with Albin on the con call. Albin, of course, was always on all these con calls. For a change, I decided to join Albin and partake in the con call to see what they were talking about and watched Albin as he was doing his work and trying to understand what exactly had transpired in Natco. Natco has a medicine which we all know. We've been buying Natco for some time. A drug called Revlimid is a cancer treating oncology drug. It treats specifically three types of cancer which are prevalent and it's very successful with these three types of cancer. One of them is mainly it's used as a support drug when all other things fail. So it's a very popular drug for treating this. It's not a very common type of cancer, but it's a type of cancer which is there in the world, and mostly a lot of elder patients suffer from this. And this medicine is expensive, and Natco manufactures this and it supplies this. What had happened in this specific quarter was usual sales which happened did not happen because the allocated amount of medicines they had was already extinguished, the stock. They didn't have stocks to replenish for the orders this quarter. This led to a dampening in the number of volume of sales and so on and so forth, leading to the performance which we saw in Natco in terms of numbers. But what it gave you insight was, what is the future for Natco when this medicine goes off their roster? And it's expected to go off its roster. And it's a huge so-called cash cow for Natco. And there was a lot of question on what would be the outlay for Natco when this drug is removed from their roster. And this kind of gave you an overview on what to expect. The management was very clear about this is what has happened. They said there's still some more wind left in this sail and we will sail some more. But it basically tells you what is expected when things like this leave the roster of Natco's product line. But they did reassure us investors that the management is aware of this, as you know, and they are made contingency plans. And one of them is launching of new array of drugs, especially the most popular one which has been making the rounds around the world, which is all this diabetic drug, which is proven to be very effective in weight loss. We all know all the drugs which I'm talking about. It falls under that category, and Natco has managed to get licenses for that, and they plan to launch this all in India also. So they expect robust growth in the Indian market, not only exporting. They did touch upon their exports, and they said those are doing well, and they expect some more further growth in other areas other than US. And they did talk about contingency plans for the tariff and all this, which is also being discussed. But what was very telling was the management is very clear. They're hoping that investors who are with them are long-term investors, and they expect long-term investors to see great return in capital in coming years ahead. That this pain is going to be short-term. It will be there for some more. And if you're expecting the pain to go away, it is not going to go away. They're in the process, like you said, going through different cycles, and this is one of those cycles that's coming to an end. And we'll be intermittently waiting for a new cycle to start. For that, during that process, this kind of pain will be felt. Then I'm sure all of you are wondering, if all this is true, Vinod, why are Mr. Market reacting so violently to it? Well, you must remember the ratio which we keep as our bellwether in any kind of stock is known as the price to earnings. And there are two components to price to earnings. You have price divided by earnings. This is your PE. If this goes down, this also has to go down to keep this the same, right? So if this goes down, which is this earnings, this logically has to go down if this is to remain the same. So Mr. Market feels Natco should be in a certain number here. So when this starts moving, this will also start moving, which is great because it gives an opportunity for people like you and me who are doing tiffin coffee investing. It gives us an opportunity to step in and sip something. For some of us, it might have been out of reach. Natco, just as short as November, October was there. It was looking, very expensive. I was sitting and doing with Dana, videos with Dana, and we were just talking about doing pharma ETF that we couldn't even think of Natco and Dr. Reddy. And before the time Dr. Reddy did its split, face value split, we were like, oh my God, these things are so expensive. We don't have any budget for these things. Now, thanks to this equation, we are being granted access, and we should be grateful for it. These kinds of seasonal changes gives opportunities for people like us who are bargain hunters to find bargains and step in and consume these things in tiffin coffee range. Because trust me, from what I've understood from the call which I had, this equation is going to continue changing for some more time for Natco. This is not going to turn this way anytime soon. For the earnings to go up and prices to shoot up, there is still a sustainable amount of time, and you will definitely see it in the market because market always does these forward earnings. The analyst will predict what will be the earnings in some time in the future. I don't know how they do that. They have some kind of astrological skills which I don't have, and they'll predict and they'll send prices. Like you see it in Trent and you see it in Titan. Those are also companies just like this, but they feel we project so much stores will open, so much sales will happen, so much this XYZ will happen. And so it deems that the forward earnings are going to be so great. So it justifies the price today for the earnings of tomorrow. So you'll see that happening in pharmaceutical companies too. Once the weather changes, the weather storm clears, these things will flip. An analyst will immediately be very perky about this whole sector, and you'll be wondering, when is that going to happen? I can't predict when that's going to happen. All I can tell you today, it is an opportunity. And be happy that you have this opportunity, and be happy that Anand Srinivasan happened to start YouTube, and he happened to grace his video, and he has been kind enough to share this kind of information with you, me, and everybody, and all of us can learn from this, and we can try and spot future situations in great companies like this. This is what Natco is in a nutshell. You want to read the rest of it, you can definitely download it and read it and get into the terminologies of what exactly these medicines are and what they are leaving out. And talk about quarterly numbers, which I really don't want to dive into. Okay, if you want to, you can, because I'm not here to trade. What gave me confidence was the management of Natco, the way they spoke, and that gave me the confidence to continue what I'm doing. I suggest you download the audio clip, which will probably be on Natco's website, and listen to the con call. It's a very nice conversation. Their management is very nice and very friendly and very open and transparent, and they did not try to decorate their situation. They're very plain and honest about it, which I greatly appreciate in any great management. In any company which I invest in, where the management is so open and honest with its investors, it's great. I feel like I'm part of the team and not like an outsider. There were other things they did to touch upon, probably a future acquisition, which we don't know, which they're talking about, which they hinted on, which people tried to press, which we could not really get any answer on. And the other thing was he was talking about something else which he has up his sleeve, which he will let us know in due course of time when it's the right time. So that is known as the elephant in the room. That was also there, which we do not know about. People tried to push him on that. He said, "Give me some time, I'll come back to you on it." Fair enough. I think he's taken us so far well on this ride so far safely. I think we can give him that much of quarter and hope that he shares it when the time is ready. A lot of you are talking about TTK because I was talking with you on Instagram. You're talking about TTK and what my opinion on TTK is. So tomorrow, more than what you call hammering out KPIT, which is that company which I was going to do today, which got pushed to tomorrow. Probably that'll get pushed on further to next week. I'll talk about TTK tomorrow because a lot of you seem to be asking about TTK and what is all the group companies within TTK and which companies in those should something we should be keeping an eye on. So tomorrow, as we end the week, I'll talk about TTK, and next week, probably Monday or Tuesday, I'll get into KPIT and wrap that up for you too. Thanks for watching the video as always. I hope you did manage to get some Natco in, that you are not busy traveling somewhere or recovering from some kind of party which you were at, and you woke up feeling that, oh my God, I missed everything. No, you haven't. Tomorrow's another day, thankfully. Markets will open, right? And you will see another opportunity again to invest in Tiffin coffee ranges and keep going at it in those levels. That's my strongest advice, which I can't stress upon enough. In all your excitement, all kinds of emotions are not good for an investor, including even happy ones. You should learn to keep everything in check and in control and stay on top of your emotions, even when you feel like the day is amazing, like it was today. Thanks for watching. Be rich. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you again tomorrow. Talk to you about TTK. Thank you.